just real quick, it would be great. We have a really wide range of folks on, and we're super excited to see all these names. I'm going to quickly just go down. If you could introduce yourself, just let us know who you are and what kind of area you work in. That would be awesome. So I'm just going to go down the list. Everett, do you mind? If you're able to go live, that's fine. If you're not, just say if you're not, that's okay too.
You're fine. I can.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Jefferson Everett. I work under Dr. Gregory Worth. I work in the workforce education department. I'm a program manager here in continuing workforce education at Florida State College at Jacksonville.
Don't let Dr. Worth be, beat you down or anything.
I won't.
We know how mean and
demanding.
We know how mean and demanding he is.
Yes, he's been super busy recently, so I told him I can jump on this meeting for him today.
We appreciate it. Nice to meet you. I have Jane Fisher.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Jane Fisher. I represent corporate and continuing education, specifically for the health sciences. Good afternoon.
Great, thank you so much. Welcome. Frank Mercer.
Yes, Frank Mercer, Director of the Center for Business and Industry at Daytona State College, and I head up our corporate training division.
Great. Oh, hey, we're getting a lot of good, just so y'all know, R1, both of our R1, Melissa and Ryan Buckthorpe, our historian, are both in corporate and continuing ed too. So if y'all don't know them, you'll want to connect with those folks. Sounds like we got a good little history going there. We have Kelly Hernandez.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, greetings from Miami. I'm sorry, my browser's saying no to my microphone. It's really weird, but I work as an academic writing coach, primarily with nursing students, and to me, nursing students it's workforce development. So that's why I'm here. And also, if there's anything I can learn from my institution and pass on to our continuing education folks, I'll be glad to do that. And I met Dadelia at our conference here at Miami-Dade, and so where she goes, I'm gonna follow.
Yeah, she's good people. We make fun of her, but we love her. Great. And then Lori.
I am sorry, I'm not used to Teams. I'm Lori Schoenig, and I work pretty much with Michelle down the hallway there at Seminole State College. I'm in GED prep as an instructor.
Excellent. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Liliana.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lillian Fajardo, and I work for Daytona State College under the Center for Business and Industry Healthcare Training Group as a coordinator.
Wow, you got some good divisions happening over there. Didn't know specific. Very good. Then Liliana Galivanis. Oh, I said that wrong. I'm so sorry, Liliana. I realized it as it was coming out of my mouth.
It's fine. I'm Liliana. Thanks. I am administrative assistant, interim administrative. Santa Fe.
Oh, we can just barely hear you. I think it's a little whisper.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
No, still doing that, but that's okay. We'll come back. We'll come back if you were able to figure it out.
Okay.
Then we have Shannon Olmstead. Hello, HCC.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Shannon Olmstead, College Grants Officer for Hillsborough Community College. Not new to HCC, but currently new to my role as a College Grants Officer. So here to support the college in grant initiatives, but previously had been supporting grant initiatives at the Del Mabry campus, particularly with regards to Title III Department of Education grants.
Shannon was spearheaded HCC's entire program on math education, so very specific. It's made a lot of difference. Shannon, you've made a big impact for our institutions.
You were a part of helping us out with a lot of things as we move through the grant sequence.
Well, we're glad we were able to retain you in a new position somewhere. That's great. And then Steve, my fellow Steve.
Hello, I am from Santa Fe College. I'm a math professor there. I also facilitate our AQ course in effective teaching practices, and I'm our chapter president and AFC chapter president and Region 2 director.
Welcome. Glad to see you. Tom, our new buddy. How are you
Hey,
doing,
everybody. My name is Tom Mason. I am the advisor for Santa Fe College's construction and technical programs, also past president of our chapter and former vice president of commissions and chapters.
Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. And then Christy, Christy Vent Griswold.
She wrote on the chat that she has noise in the back, so.
No problem. Sorry about that.
It says there, hi there. I have noise in the background, so I'll introduce myself here. I'm a student financial resource navigator at FSCJ, and I connect staff and students with financial resources across the college.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Yolanda Brown. We're losing. We can't hear. I don't know if you. No, ma'am. Yeah, it's okay. Still not able to, but if you get it figured out, just let
You
us
hear
know.
me now?
There you go. There you go.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. I am Yolanda Brown. I'm the AVP of Adult and Community Education at Broward College.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, thank you all for attending today. We're gonna, I'm gonna start. Oh, there's Janaya. Yay. Hey, Janaya. We just did introductions. You want to say who you are real quick?
Sure. I'm Janaya Jones. I'm the treasurer, and I completely forgot about this meeting today.
That's okay. That's okay. It happens to all of us. It happens to all of us. And then we just had we had Martina Wagner just join us. Martina, we just went around and just said hello. You just happened to run in at that point. You want to jump on and say who you are and where you are?
I'm Martina Wagner. I am internships and experiential learning at Polk State College in Central Florida.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We're excited. This is a great group from folks from all over the state. So this is what we're looking for. We want to have this kind of blend. Well, quickly, I put a note on here just so folks know that we are still interested this current year. We are still in the need for the last few months for a Region 3 coordinator. If anybody is interested in that, please let any of the leadership know. We'd be happy, happy to have that person join us. The other thing too, and I apologize if I'm going to be looking away from them a little bit as I go to my other screen here. But I do want to also let you know that budget-wise, we're still in a happy place. We have not spent a lot of money this year. Just giving everybody just an overview. We are fortunate to be in kind of the area of about $4,000, give or take. The only money that we have spent this year so far has really been related to some expenses to our region conference, which happened in May, which was about $300 approximately. So we don't have a lot of expenses. The only things that we are expected to spend through the remainder of this year at this stage are for our exemplary practice awards, and also to send our vice president or our incoming chair to a local conference in the state to be as part of the CWE commission. as we've been added on to as kind of a liaison organization to the COP's what's the Commission on Workforce Education. I was trying to remember what CWE all of a sudden stood for. Sorry about that. Having a moment. So we are obligated to make sure that she can get there to be able to be part of that meeting. So other than that, we don't have a ton of expenses on the list. But, you know, we're going to work on that and see if there's something we can't come up with, you know, a little bit later on. So we're healthy.
May
as
I
far-
bring
Yeah, go
up
ahead.
something?
Yeah, go ahead.
You just mentioned prior to this that we were looking for a Region 3 rep, but my term is up this year. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to mention that Region 5, which I represent, is going to be missing a representative. So if anyone from Region 5 would like to take on this position, please let us know.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely coming up. And we'll talk a little bit more about the other positions we have coming available a little bit ahead. I do have a little bit of a chair report. We had a July 27th board meeting. And at that board meeting, we talked about a few different things. I just want to let membership know about. You're going to be hearing in the next several months that there's now going to be kind of a change with AFC's relationship with the COP, with the Council of Presidents. For those of you who know, we've always kind of, I would say, lack of a better term, we've always kind of served, which is kind of the word I would use, you know, as the Council of Presidents. We've always helped with organizing events for them. We've always had our stuff in conjunction with COP events. There's kind of always been kind of this symbiotic relationship with the COP. This past spring, there's been some discussions about separating that relationship slightly so that the COP is not being seen, I guess, in some ways as being the overall influence of the AFC, if that makes sense. And I'm sure some of you have served in other capacities with AFC would probably understand that too, that, you know, in prior years, it may see that, you know, like we are the arm of the COP. And that's never been the intention of the organization. It's always been to serve as a voice of the associated faculty and staff to the COP, if that makes sense. So there's going to be some decisions have been made to formally separate those two. And the COP is going to be hiring their own executive director in that kind of realm. So the two will be still working in tandem with each other, and still working together, obviously, to kind of be consistent with the types of things that we're taking to the state level, and about policy and concerns. But we are going to split those two organizations. It will become apparent in the next several months, kind of how that's going to start looking. So expect to hear a little bit more about that. Recruitment. AFC as a whole is down about 1,000 members since pre-pandemic times. Just so everybody understands that. There's a lot of reasons for that. We've had statewide, we've seen a lot of retirements, and a lot of those folks were folks who might have become in, you know, at that time. So we're really working to recruit, you know, new membership. Let folks know what we're all about as an organization. So, you know, they're really challenging the regions and the campus leadership organizations to please, you know, get out there, boots on the ground, really start working on doing some recruitment. The reason that is also important, it does impact in the big picture our budget, and where the budget impacts is keeping the cost of some of the professional development opportunities at a reasonable rate. You know, obviously, the more we can put in financially, the less the cost of conferences are going to be. You know, things of that nature. So we're going to see a bit of a rise in some of the costs of conferences in person, for a little bit until we can, not substantial, they're really doing their best to keep the cost as affordable as possible, but it's not going to be as cheap as it may have been in the previous. And that also kind of leans into, the annual conference, which I'm going to go into a little bit, which is the annual conference is going to look a little more expensive this year because every hotel, just so y'all know, hotel costs are not as, even the group rates are not as group ratey as they used to be, because I make up words, sorry about that. But they're not as satisfying, maybe even better as and palatable as they used to be. So some of those rates are going up a little bit. So we're going to see a little bit of that. But recruitment wise, we're still challenging all of us to kind of do our best to try to bring someone into AFC. If all of us bring one person in, or if all of us do our best to try to recruit a person or two somewhere along the line, there are great opportunities, and then we can do more as an organization. And speaking of the annual conference, I do want to point you to my share screen briefly, just to show you that the information about the basic information about the conference is up on the main page. The call for proposals should be out very soon. Officially, it's closed right now, but the expected date is September 2nd. So for anyone who's interested, the dates of the conference are November 15th through 17th, 2022, and it's going to be in Panama City, Florida, for those who are interested. Hotel information is up now. They're looking for October 15th as the registration for hotel to get your guaranteed rate. Registrations are up as well. If you go to the registration form, the rates, the full conference for the 3 days is $300 rate. And then there's different specifics for the different areas. There's also a group package. There's also a group package from there. Janaya, I would guesstimate you're probably 2.5, 3 hours. You're not going all the way to Pensacola. That kind of thing. You're not going all the way to Pensacola to go to Panama City. Yep. But you have to get to Tallahassee, and then you go about halfway from Tallahassee to Pensacola to get there. Yeah, yes. Panhandle. So, but there's group packages as well. So if you're, for those of you who might be with organizations that might be willing to send groups of people, so I know that one of the things at HCC we're very fortunate about at HCC is that they are willing to scholarship a few people. So that's always one positive thing that happens. So they're willing to scholarship some of us to go. So there might be some of that. So as you're looking to plan, all that information is up here, as well as the hotel rates. The other thing I wanted to add regarding the conference is all of us are being given 2 slots for presentations, all of the commissions. So if any of you on this call are doing something exciting or want to join in and do a presentation, we want to support you. We would love to put you right on the agenda so you don't have to go through the proposal process. Is that Tom? Yeah, Tom. Yeah, Tom, that'd be great.
Yeah, I plan to submit a proposal.
Okay, perfect.
For the program that we submitted the application for the best practice.
Yes, sir. Good.
So I will be putting in a proposal for that. If we meet our limit on WACE, I could probably do it under student development or just have it on its own, but we want to show off the program.
When you get it, if you want to look at the program proposal and see what it's all about, then just write it up and send to me directly.
Yeah, I'll be sure to share it with you guys. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to put it together this week or next.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Right.
Yeah, and if anybody has any other ideas or is interested in doing something, we definitely want to make sure that we have you know, waste related items on the agenda, you know, and so that we can do that as well. So if you have ideas, feel free to let us know. I'm going to come back because Eligio had to step away for a moment, but I'm going to switch to number 6 for the elections committee report. Catherine was not able to join us today, but know that we will be sending out information soon for anyone who might be interested in any of our upcoming available positions. For this year at the conference, you don't have to go to the conference. Just, I want to be very clear. You don't have to be at the conference to run. If you're interested, we understand that not everybody's going to be able to make it to the conference. But if you are interested, we're going to send out an application just so that we can know who all is interested in running for the positions. We will have our chair-elect. Do quickly want to go over that to say that the chair-elect is a 3-year term. That may sound really rough, but that I promise you it's not that difficult. Chair-elect comes in to learn for that first year. So they would be the chair-elect in 23, the chair in 24, and then the past chair in 25. If that makes sense. So chair-elect has a couple of responsibilities. One is making sure that our elections happen smoothly, getting word out. As chair, you're the chair. And as past chair, your responsibility is related to exemplary practice awards. And, you know, and so those are some of the things that we do with that. Our treasurer is a 2-year position. Janaya came in midway to help us out this time around, but if anyone is interested in the treasurer position, it is a 2-year commitment. So in this case, it would be for 23 and 24. Historian, again, is a 2-year commitment. It would be for 23 and 24. Historian is the one who kind of basically for us keeps the history of what we've been doing, networking. They're not the secretary, but they're also somebody that's important with kind of keeping alive like what we have been doing. Some of our longer standing members have traditionally taken on that historian role, but that doesn't mean we can't, we're not looking outside for those as well. And then for all of our region representative positions, the biggest thing is these are communication points. These are the folks who are going to go back to their regions, share what's going on, help build membership, help just let people know, whether they're through emails or at regional conferences, saying what's going on with our organization, and letting people know what's happening with any of the events and activities and professional developments that we have going on. This year, our odd ones are up for re-election. So that is Region 1, Region 3, and Region 5. And then in 24, we will have other positions available. Yeah, go ahead, Dalila. I see you want to.
Sorry, I was mute again. It says Region 4 there. It's supposed to be 5.
That meant to say 5.
Yeah.
That was me typing really fast.
Okay.
It's like I added the little edit. Yes, Region 5. So, but if anybody else would like to talk about, I didn't mean to speak about everybody, so I just wanted to go do that relatively quickly. But if anybody has any other feedback on the positions, or if you have any questions about that, feel free to let us know. We're happy to do it. And we're looking, you know, and I'll tell you this, we're also not above bum rushing people to encourage them to apply for positions. So if you know somebody who'd be really good and you're willing to drop a name our way and be like, you need to talk this person into it, we're happy to do that. We'll happily call them and be like, hey, you know, Frank nominated you and said you might be great for this, you know, but also, you know, if you want, we would also encourage you if you think, you know, and I'll say this, as far as the commitment, and this is something that's we all commit to a once a month meeting. It lasts about an hour, like these, similar. We all commit to doing a few hours a week of work, now a few hours a month of work, depending, like in Michelle's case with secretary, even though she's not for election, It's minutes. It's just making sure that those get out to everybody. You know, sometimes people will take on projects like organizing one of the lunch and learn sessions, but we split that up amongst the group, or creating publicity for events. I would say honestly, for me, it's not, even as the chair, it's not overwhelming commitment for me. And I'm definitely doing a lot more than I did when I was not chair, you know, but I would say, but it's still a very really reasonable time frame of use of time. So if anybody is interested, we would love to have you. And we'd love to have representation from a wide range of, you know, a wide range of areas within WACE as well. So are there any questions? You know, I didn't stop after all this stuff. I've been just kind of going through. Are there any questions, comments?
This isn't a question, but I noted that Eligio said in the chat that we only had one application. So I was just curious if anybody was maybe thinking of something and needed somebody to maybe bounce some ideas off of if they wanted to present, but weren't quite sure what they wanted to present on. We can offer that I think, as well.
Eligio, are you back? He said he had to step away for a minute, if he came back or not. Yeah, I was
doing great things. I just think that sometimes you don't really think about, you know, how do I share this great thing as an exemplary practice? So sometimes you just need someone to bounce ideas off of.
Understood. We will, yeah, so yeah, that's one of the things. We'll come back to it. Hopefully he'll be back with us in just a minute. Fingers crossed. Upcoming lunch and learns, just want everybody know our final lunch and learn for this year is going to be Apprenticeships 101. That has been one of the areas that folks have really asked us to lean into a little bit for this year, because let's be honest, there's a lot of money available in apprenticeships right now. I'm sure some of you know that, and you know, and I know as well that there are a lot of institutions that are trying to start them up. So Dr. Roll is from Miami-Dade. She works with their apprenticeship programs and is willing to do kind of here's what you need to know to start apprenticeships, basic, like the kind of like top 10 things she wishes she knew kind of stuff before going for it. So please let folks know that that's coming up on September 23rd. Again, this will be our last one for 2022 because we'll be hitting conference preparation right after that. And so we'll hopefully re-up. I don't want to speak for Catherine and what she plans for next year, but I imagine we'll be back by January, we'll be back on scheduling more for the 2023 season. And for those of you who may have missed our previous lunch and learns that we've been doing over the summer and everything, they are up on our YouTube page. If you go to our Facebook, or if you go to Facebook and just look up WACE on our Facebook, they're linked. All of the sessions are linked to our YouTube page as well. So feel free to share those. That goes for the micro-credentialing. The only thing that's basically not up was our conference. It was going to be so huge, I didn't put the whole conference up, which in retrospect, I really wish we had. But you know, that's one of those things you learn as you're doing these things. But all of our lunch and learns are up from this past year, from the 2022 season. And then future meetings. Just so everybody knows, we are going to have another open meeting in October. That'll be our pre-conference meeting. That's just for everybody to be able to learn a little bit about what our plans are, who's running for positions, what are going to be some of the topics of discussion, and any last minute preparation for conference. And then during conference, we will have an open meeting. That open meet, we will have two meetings during conference. One is going to be a closed board meeting you know, we're never closed really, but, you know, but just to be a board only meeting. And then the other one is going to be an open meeting for elections so that everybody has the opportunity to give their input and all that, or run from the floor for any open space spots. Checking to see if Eligio came back. He has not. So I will back up and just say, yeah, you know, as a chair, you know, my goal was really for us to have 5 or more applications. That's okay. Thank you, Lori. We appreciate you coming today. We really hope to have a wider range, you know, to choose from. That was our goal, because in the past years, we really wanted to spread the wealth, you know, across the state. But Tom has done an amazing job, and we do know that we do have an one application, an amazing application, because I watched the video, Tom, by the way. Y'all did production value up there in Santa Fe. I mean, I'm just like, that is production value.
Yeah,
So well done.
We worked hard on it.
Yeah, I mean, like, wow, you know, so we'll be talking at our next board meeting about that. So ask about it and everything and let you know for sure. But we know that you've been working on it for a while, and we definitely were hoping to see some more applicants, but better for you, Tom, in some ways.
Yeah, well, you know, at least you got one.
Exactly, we absolutely did. So we will be in
We're
touch.
going to present about it at conference and
Yeah.
extol the virtues of the WACE Commission while we do it.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your time on that. So we'll be in touch with all of that information at a later date. But you know, we definitely still want to put it out there that, you know, exemplary practice is not the only time of the year to let us know about the awesome things you're doing. That's the other thing I wanted to say too, is if you're doing something great, or if you want to share ideas, you want opinions, that's what we're all for. Even if you don't want to be a part of the commission on a regular basis and be a part of this, send us questions. We will gladly send them out on your behalf, or talk at one of our regular meetings and say, who's got resources on this area? Or if you're like, hey, I want to do a session about this topic, you know, because I will say, here's an example. One of the things we have not done a ton of presentations on is ESOL, or GED prep, or, you know, continuing ed courses. You know, we haven't done a ton, and that's not because we haven't wanted to. It's we haven't heard that from the membership. So if you're like, hey, we want to do something on this topical area, that's what it's going to be all about. So we really use those exemplary practices and lunch and learns to really get those topics out and really kind of know what the membership wants. All of our lunch and learns this past year, for example, and the topics for our May mini conference all came from these types of prior meetings. So we want to continue to meet the needs of our organization. So speaking of that, as we've now moved on to the, we are at other items. So I do want to open the floor, find out if there's anything people, any questions, issues, ideas people have for us. Feel free to open your mic or throw it in chat, and let's chat for a second. The floor is open.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to know for the conference, I see that the proposals are due September 2nd, but I don't see, like, when I click for
It's
call
not
for.
clicking yet. Yeah, I think they're going to email that out pretty soon.
Okay.
They did not tell us on the June 27th meeting when specifically that was going to open.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, but I will say, if you're interested in doing something specifically about our area, and workforce or something, please feel free to send me your details on it. And I have no problem just, you know, if it's something that meets our needs and interest area, I'll just tell them, hey, here's a name and a title you need to insert, and we'll make sure you're on the agenda.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Steve, can you pull up the registration form again, please?
Absolutely.
One of the things I noticed about the group rate is that it's only beneficial for 7 to 8, 10 to 12, and 17 to 19 people. For example, 5, it would be 5 times 300 is $1,500, which is quite a bit less than the 1925.
Yeah, I think they were, it would have been, I don't know how those numbers were determined. This was one of those ones that was presented to us. So I don't know if that was a conference team decision. Because actually, I don't even know now that I say it, I don't even know who the conference chair is, other than I'm sure that Marcia works on a lot of that. But you're right. It's not supremely. It's not a major discount on that area. So I'll share that feedback as well. So any other thoughts? Oh, there we go. Here you go. Michelle, would you mind putting this down, the Matina's comment, doing a survey? Don't want to forget that. And I agree with you, Matina. I've just to let you know, Matina made a notation about, you know, in her county, particularly GED in high school, is responsibility of the K-12 system. And I understand you too. Recently in Hillsborough, we transitioned our GED program away. We had one for many years. It recently just went back to the high schools, or the high school side. But we also do, but a lot of us also still partner with high school CTE programs as well. The continue, so we're working on, we have to do a lot of work with them as well, even though, like you said, we try to stay in our lane because it's different. I think we're all going to see that changing in the next few years if some of the legislative priorities happen, particularly with how do you incorporate high school CTE programs into the college level CTE programs, or if they did ESL prep in high school, how's that going to count toward college preparatory? You know, there's going to be a lot of those questions coming up in the next few years as well. So I think that's great questions. Okay. Well, if there's nothing else for the good of the order, I do want to say thank you all very much for coming. Hope this was a little bit informational, helpful. Super excited about the attendance today. So we really appreciate you all being here, and we look forward. Tom, you are right on. Can you make sure, Michelle, articulation agreements, pathways. That is definitely something. And dual enrollment, articulation agreements, definitely some great ideas. Thank you all. And if you have any more, don't hesitate to throw them our way. But other than that, I do want to say thank you all for attending. We look forward to seeing you. Hopefully we'll see you again in October. Tell some more people to come. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.